Transformers More Than Meets the Eyes is a Chucky from Collecting for Fun, and today we are going to be doing our full review of Wheeljack here. And this, my friends, is the Origin Wheeljack from the Legacy United series for the Transformers. Now, this is a reissue or re-release. It was I missed out on my chance to get it when it first came out, so when it re-released, I would made sure that I had my name on the list, and I was able to obtain one of these guys. I already had the Origins Bumblebee, and I really wanted to get the Wheeljack so that I can, rehash that, scene from the first episode of Transformers when Bumblebee goes inside Wheeljack while they're on Cybertron just before they launch their mission to Earth. All right, so here you can see Bumblebee's Energon rods here. We're going to be using those. I guess we're going to see how that works. I'm not going to transform Bumblebee back into robot mode because it's not the easiest to transform him. And I just would rather just leave him in the thing because we want to focus on Wheeljack here. Okay, so just like before, we'll just have a quick peek at what Wheeljack can do. I do find the model. It looks obviously like Wheeljack, right? He's got the head shape correct. This thing can be worn on his shoulder as such, or it can be put into his hand. Okay, the arms do move very well. They can rotate very well. The elbow, although very high up, you can see. I mean, it's like is bending right where the shoulder blade, just under the shoulder blade. So that's kind of weird. So he's got pretty short, stocky arms there. The hands have good can hold the weapons. Head does turn. Hold on, let me just turn his head. It does turn all the way around. The torso does move all around. You can spin it 100% all the way around. Legs are quite chunky. See, they're quite chunky there. They do bend though, so they do quite bend well. You can do the splits. So you can do quite a bit of posability there, and there's good swivel in the foot there as well. So very good posability. It is, I would say, the Wheeljack figure is pretty decent. It is a little bit stocky or bulky compared to see the other Legacy Wheeljack that came out. This one's a little bit more leaner. You can see the legs look a little bit more leaner. They're more slick in design. I can't say I like one more than the other. I do like the coloration of the green better here, and the blue around there. I do like the Signia being bigger here. But I mean, overall, it's not too bad. You can see that this is on this side and that's on the other side, and I can't honestly remember which side is which. This does come with two guns versus the one on this one. So overall, I mean, the actual robot form, they kept similar to, the essence of Jazz. These things come out there. And I don't know if either of these are the definitive like robot forms of them. Um, I think they can do better, especially since looking at what they've done with Studio Series. So like the '86 movies I'm talking about, who knows if they're ever going to do a Jazz for that? Because I'm sorry, Wheeljack for that. Because the only time we ever saw Wheeljack in the Transformers movie was like dead. So I will see. I don't know. We might see him. We might not. Anyways, we're gonna focus on this Wheeljack today, and so the figure itself, decent enough. I would say it's not perfect, but for all intents and purposes, it definitely does look like Wheeljack. I just find it's a little bit, short and stumpy, or like, he looks like he's got some girth to it. Okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and transform it. We're going to take off the gun. We're going to also take off this pad here. If you saw the unboxing video, we had to play around with this because originally this was straight, okay? And so we had to pull these parts off and put it back on because this part was attached to here, this part was attached to here, so it was a straight. And you could leave it like that for a road, but I wanted to have it like this for the shield, which is more iconic. And so that's the way I'm going to leave it because I don't want to pull it off again and pull it back on again because I just don't want to crack the plastic and risk breaking that. But you definitely could make it into a road if you wanted to. I just don't see the point. So let's go back to the main toy here. We're going to go ahead and transform this guy. So first things first, we're going to unlock this part here and just kind of pull that down. It's simple enough. We're going to take these two tabs here and just going to push those down and hide them back there. Okay. And then we're going to get the arms up here. We're going to flip the side up there. We're going to turn the hand. Sorry, we're going to turn the hand so the fist is fist is facing like that, and the thumb's facing inwards. So then when we slide that in, we have it like that. And the same thing with the hand on the other side. We're going to turn the hand, sorry, so that the thumb is facing, that is going to go inwards, and we're going to put it like that. Okay. Next, we are going to kind of spin the torso around because we're going to need to do so later. And I find it's easier to do it now than later. And then we're going to bring this whole chest piece down. We're also going to turn the head around. Turn the head around. And we're going to push that down. Okay. Next, we are going to bring these hands in. Okay, we're going to bring, sorry, I think these have to be like so, if I'm not mistaken. So bring these up a little bit, turn these up, and we're going to just bend these down, and then we're going to fold them into each other. So let me just do that again. So these are the hands out like this. The sockets, the arm sockets are facing up, so like that. We're going to bend these down, and then we're going to bend them into each other where they're going to kind of overlap on each other there. There we go. We're going to leave it like that. So the head's partially covered, but not entirely. Okay. And then we're going to finish, we're going to get this part kind of ready. We're going to just kind of loosely have this up. And we're going to lock that piece into the middle. And more so these slots here to get behind this padding over here. Okay. So kind of like that. Okay. And now we are going to work on the feet. The rest of it's feet. Okay, most of the rest of it's feet, I should say. The feet are funky, man. They got a lot of things going on in here. So we're gonna. That's why they're so bulky. So we're gonna flip this thing out. Flip this out. We're gonna flip up that wing. We're also gonna flip this thing out, and we're gonna flip this around. So this also flips up like this. Okay, and this flips up like that, and this thing opens like that. So it's kind of starting to kind of come into place there. We're gonna also, oh, before I forget, we gotta turn this foot around. Sorry, this foot's facing to this. We gotta turn that around so we can slap it into here. So we're just gonna fold that into here with a double fold. We're also gonna flip this, oops, we're gonna flip this flap up and that's down. And then we're gonna open up this flap over here. So it's now we got this kind of little launching pad or this little ramp that Bumblebee can go into. So on the one side, it's kind of looking like this. So it's kind of starting to come together. And we could, oops, this thing came apart. So we can certainly start to join it a little bit, but it's easier when we have kind of both almost ready. So now we're going to do the exact same thing on this leg. We're just going to kind of unwind everything. We're going to flip, we're going to flip this down. We're going to flip this open. We're going to flip this up. Okay. And we're going to flip this up and turn it around, open this window thing. And you can kind of see that it's starting to kind of take form on both sides. Get this kind of lined up. And then we're going to, again, turn this foot around. So, and then we're going to chunk it in here with a double fold. And then again, we're going to release this flap over here and here to unveil the ramp. Now the instructions kind of indicate that we should kind of get this ramp ready first and kind of lock it into place. And that kind of works to some degree. I find that it doesn't always work out. So you're going to have to, and it looks kind of weird when you're doing it because the legs are not straight. They're kind of like bulbous and they have to be like that because it's wider in the back. So it's kind of a weird configuration. I don't know how they engineered it, but it was definitely some finessing. So we're just kind of finessing all these parts into to lock into the little grooves here. So we're just going to lift this up a little bit and lock that into place. Oops, this thing folded down. And then we're going to just kind of collapse this roof on top of it. Oh, I forgot. There's two little sprues back here. These are for the front after, so I'm going to take those out. And let's just make sure the ramp stays somewhat where we want it. Okay. So again, now we're just finessing things together. And again, somehow you look at it when it's going together, it doesn't look like it's going to all work together, but somehow it does. And so the last thing, oops, see, so this ramp does not stay very well together. So you just got to hold like that. Last thing we got to do to get it stable is we're going to flip this chest piece down. So we turn it upside down and flip this green thing up without flipping the whole head back. We're just flipping this piece there. And it's got these little prongs right there and there. I don't know if you can see that. Right there and there. And they go into these holes here. Right there and there. And so we're just going to have to line that up and just kind of finesse that into these holes just to stabilize the bottom part. So I find when I do that, then that's kind of when the back part kind of stabilizes itself, because it just doesn't do so quite readily. And you just have to play with it at the end. So it's, yeah, so we're just going to get the foot in there, and then we can finish playing with the ramp. Okay, there we go. So let's just make sure I got everything locked in. Okay, we're pretty much there. The ramp can go up there. It does, you can lock it in there, but I leave it out because once we lock these tabs in, they're really hard to open up the flap, and we want to be able to get Bumblebee in there. And so yeah, that is essentially Wheeljack done. We're going to add a couple accessories. So we can add these little, I don't even know what you call these. Little screw thingies. I think he uses that to burrow through stuff. So we're going to put that in here. And so there's that. And then when he's got being attacked, he can put this visor on that protects him. So this goes like that. And it actually has a slot. You can see the slot. Sorry. Let's try to get it in focus. There's a slot right there on either side. And they go into the slots down here. So this goes here. And this kind of locks into place there. So now we have Wheeljack more or less ready, all armored up, everything ready to go. And moment of truth, does Bumblebee go in here? Yes and no. You have to take off the gun. Yeah, you have to take off this thing because it will not go through. And we also have to flip the wings down or up. I have to figure out if it's down or up. But we got it. Oops. It just broke off the thing. It looks like we have to flip it up, I think, because it doesn't bend down. So we'll do that. And let's see if it goes in now. No, not quite. Something else has to give. It's stuck. Oh no. Okay, so there has to be another way. Maybe I have to double fold it in. Or maybe we just leave these things off. I don't know. There is a way to get it in. I haven't really looked at. Let me look at the instructions. I didn't really play with Bumblebee before I did this video. So let me quickly pause and have a look. So I looked at the instructions. The instructions are absolutely no help at all. It doesn't show Bumblebee going in at all. So let's see. I remember seeing it somewhere. So maybe it's on the back of the box. You can kind of see, oops, Bumblebee going in. But let's see. And it looks like, I guess I have to lift the roof in order to get him in. Otherwise, it will not go in. Okay, so let's do that. So let's lift this. I got to take off the, do I have to take off the visor? Nope, I can leave that on. And let's see if it goes in like this. It doesn't go in with the wings on. So I wonder if I just have to take these wings off. Because the wings do not fold down. I guess they have to come off. Because, yeah, definitely the saucer as it is will not go in. It's too wide. So if I flip the wings up, it just doesn't look like it will close. Let me just pull it all the way in. Maybe I just have to squeeze it. Ugh. Oh, wait. Looks like this has a double bend. Ah! If I double bend it like that, maybe it will go in. Let's see. Okay. Sort of. It'll fit, but I think we had to take off the actual saucer wings in order for this to actually close. Because I don't think it will go in either which way. I don't know if, yeah, it just doesn't look like it'll fit. So it goes in this way. It just doesn't close unless we take off the saucer, unless we take off the saucer wings, I guess. Oh, it's really jammed in there now. Okay, so I guess if we take these off, which is easy enough to do, Then it should go in and it should close. Yes, I guess that's the only way it goes in. Doesn't close all the way, but I mean, good enough. Good enough. So it's not a perfect fit. We have to take these off in order to make Bumblebee work in there. And he doesn't fit any of his weapons on there. It's way too bulky. But I guess in essence, he does kind of fit. We just got to finesse it a little bit. And you do have to lift the roof in order to make that work. So all in all, let's review it on the merits of what it is. The fact that Bumblebee can somewhat fit in there is pretty impressive because I mean Bumblebee's not small. I mean it is a mini bot, but it's not like the tiniest robot. You can see that it's 3/4 of the size as far as the width goes or length goes of Wheeljack. So I mean basically it just fits. The whole inside is more or less hollow for that that very purpose. I'm going to put these saucer things back on so I don't lose it because that would be not so good. And then obviously I assume, I haven't tried them in, I assume these Energon um, bits will fit in. Let me see. I don't know. I haven't tried them in. So do they fit all the way down? Yes, they do. They fit all the way in. So there's enough room for that. So at least the designers kind of figured out, hey, we at least have to make that work. I forgot to add a little gun, so you can put the gun right on top of here. And so yeah, Jazz. I'm sorry, I keep calling him Jazz. Wheeljack looks. I mean, the Cybertronian form of it. Wow, these come right through the sides here. There's no stop right there at all. But yeah, the Cybertronian version of Wheeljack or origin version of Wheeljack, how he's seen in the first episode of the Transformers G1 series. This is pretty damn good. Like it's pretty damn accurate. Sorry, having opened that, I kind of messed up the transformation, and with this blue thing on, I can't see the tags. So let's put that out, and let's tag it back in. Ugh. So as far as robot mode, or sorry, vehicle mode goes, I think once transformed correctly, it looks pretty good. It's actually, it's a weird clunky transformation. It kind of looks like a Cybertruck, and probably maybe was the inspiration of the Cybertruck of Tesla, but I'm not sure. I mean, I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's some elements of that in there for sure, the boxy design, but this predated that by decades, obviously. So I don't know if Wheeljack is the first Cybertruck, but it is. It looks pretty similar, anyways. So let's take these off. We're going to go ahead and transform it back, as I said, as a representation of how he looked in the original G1. It looks pretty accurate and it pairs very well with the Bumblebee here. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to transform it back, and then we'll just do a couple comparisons. We already had the other Wheeljack up, and we can certainly bring out some other friends of this Transformer. Okay, so first things first, we got to lift this flap up. We're going to lift this up so we can release the feet. And like seriously, as you saw with the transformation, a lot of it has to do with the feet. So let's start with that. We're going to start collapsing things down. We're going to flip this down. We're going to flip this down. We're going to turn this around. We're going to turn this around. We're going to flip. We're going to turn this in. Flip that up. We're going to again turn this in. Flip that up. Okay, and then we're going to turn this down and turn that around and also collapse this down. Okay, and I gotta get the foot ready. So again, lots of things going on with the feet. We're gonna flip this down, turn that around. A lot of things going on with the feet there. And then we're gonna flip this all the way around and then turn that in, turn that down, and turn that in. So that's just one foot. That's just one foot. Do the same thing on the other side. We're going to release this foot down, turn it around. Okay, we're going to collapse this thing in. We're going to turn this around, flip that down. We're going to turn this down, flip it up, and turn that down. I mean, it's. I'm doing it and I'm confused. It's a lot of movement on the legs. Okay, there's a lot of action going on these feet. Now we are going to turn. We're going to release the hands. Now we're going to open these things up. We're going to open these up here, and then we're just basically going to pull the hands out and collapse the hands down. We're going to pull the hand out, collapse the hands down, and then bring the arm sockets down. Flip the forearms down. The hands, we're going to have to fix the position of the hands, so we're going to turn the hands in like this and like that. All right, I think I did that right. No, I did not. There we go. I have to turn the hands around there. They got to actually bend, so let's do that. Okay, so looks kind of small right now because we haven't finished. So we're going to flip his head up, bring that out, turn his head around, and we're just going to push him back like that. We got to turn the whole torso around now. Now he's got his feet facing the right way. And a couple things left. We're going to bring these wing thingies up. There we go. And then we're just going to fold this back caboose thing up a little bit. And for all intents and purposes, we have got him back into robot mode. Okay? Now, a couple things we can do with the accessories. The gun. The gun can either go back on the shoulder pad. He's got a space right there for that. And that's, I think, what looks the best. However, you can also put the gun here. Okay? You can also add one of these little screw thingies to the gun. Right there. It is a shame he only came with one gun. I don't know why they did that, but they only brought him one gun. The other screw, or you can put both of them, can go onto these little pads right here. You can just stick them right in there. Okay, and if you want to say, you can take this screw thingy off and plop it in the back as well. And you can either leave the gun there or you can pop it on a shoulder. I'm just going to pop it on a shoulder. Just think it looks better that way. But I do like it with a gun. But anyways, and then there's this thing here. They have the two notches right there, and you have the two notches there, and that's where that kind of sits. And hold on, let me turn it around so you can kind of see that. And so that goes here, and that goes on the other side, and it almost looks like Wheeljack's got wings now, but that, my friends, is Wheeljack all set up there. So that, my friends, is Wheeljack Origin version. There we have the Bumblebee next to him. If we want to bring out the Studio Series 86 Optimus, much, much taller. So let's zoom out a little bit. Much, much taller. Okay. And again, I'm not sure if they were meant to scale. I mean, this is the other Wheeljack, and it's taller than the Origins. And so just to give a comparison, I only have the Studio Series 86 out for comparison. So that's what I got. We also have a Grimlock we can put next to him. And yeah, if you like Transformers, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like button. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be getting ourselves a Roboson Grimlock to do a grand opening of and unboxing of, and then we're going to do some cool videos with him, pair it with Optimus Prime. So that should be some very fun videos. Looking forward to doing that for you guys. And so that's Grimlock. Jazz, we have Jazz here, and this is a Legacy Jazz. Okay, also that came with this Wheeljack. Same size as the Studio Series Jazz as well. And so size comparison wise, it pairs decently well. What's the actual size of what Jazz is supposed to be compared to these other guys? I honestly don't remember. I think he's supposed to be maybe up to there. I could be wrong. Anyways, yeah, all in all, I do like this Wheeljack. For the purpose of being a origin version of Wheeljack, it looks really, really cool. Robot form is decent, a little bit chunky, but understandable, given that of the weirdness and complexity of transforming it into that box shape that it has. The vehicle mode, as you can see on the box there, as we had in Transform a moment ago, looks pretty much like the Cybertronian version that we saw in the G1 episode. So I have no complaints about that. And so yes, guys, I think this one's a winner if you liked that version and you're a diehard G1 fan. If you're not a G1 diehard fan, you weren't a big fan of the cartoon series, you probably could pass on this. But if you love the G1 cartoon and you just love that version that showed up for like 5 minutes or whatever it was, then hey, this will satisfy that inner child in you as it did for me. So guys, this is Chucky from Collecting for Fun. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. You can do so by liking the video and subscribing and sharing this with your transformer loving friends. That'd be so very, very nice of you as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. You guys take care, and we will see you soon. Bye.